Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on ARIMA, Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average Model and Time Series. We're using the air passengers dataset, which we used before. So let's load these packages, T-series, applied statistical time series, quant mode, forecast, and time diverse. Okay, we already used the air passengers data before. So let's just load that using the data air passengers function. And we looked at this before. So let's, okay, air passengers, let me print that. Okay, so this is data from 1949 to 1960, monthly data, January up to December. So that's 12 years, okay? And then we plotted this last time. Okay, plot air passengers. I just place the title here, and then the label for the x-axis and the y-axis. So let me just share this, Control C. In the interest of time, anyway, nothing new for you to learn there. We have already done this before. And we can see here that the time series behaves this way. So we learned how to categorize this last time. We said that this time series has a trend. It's going up. No? And also, the variance seems to be not constant. Okay, there's a fanning out, if you recall, class. The variance is it's increasing over time. Okay, so which means that this is non-constant variance, non-constant mean, which is an attribute or attributes of being non-stationary. Okay, and if we're going to use ARIMA in order to model this, then we will have to transform this data into a stationary data. Okay, so as I said here, the plot clearly shows an upward trend with a seasonal pattern. This suggests that the data is not stationary as both the mean and the variance increases over time. Now, we said that we don't only plot the data and determine if it's stationary. In this case, we're definitely sure that this is not stationary. In other cases, it might be less obvious. Okay, so you might have a situation where your data looks like this. It may look like this, where it's not apparent that there's a trend or the variance is constant. Okay, it might not be this apparent. So it's not, it's not, let's say, it's not good to just base it on a visual inspection of your data. A good thing, we can have statistical test for this to determine stationarity. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's go there and annotate and clear the drawings. Okay. The the test that we learned last time was the ADF, the augmented Dickey-Fuller test. However, the augmented Dickey-Fuller test, the ADF test, has to be used with caution because sometimes it yields uh, wrong results. Okay, so for example, let's use this. We did this already in the past, so I'm sure you already understand this, but let me share the code with you. Okay. And well, let's see if you want to. Let me just share also the notes, just in case you want to use it. Okay. So the ADF test. So the null hypothesis here is that the time series is not stationary. This is coming from your T-series package. And we know that based on our observation, we should have a p-value here that's greater than 0.05, right? Because we're expecting that this null hypothesis should not be rejected. So we should fail to reject. this null hypothesis. So we're using the augmented Dickey-Fuller test, air passengers, and the syntax is alternative is equal to stationary. Okay, and no need for this. Okay, we can just remove that. And if we print this, sorry, we have already, let me just delete this. No need to run that. We already loaded that a while ago. All right. Now we have the ADF statistic, negative 7.31. And what's the problem here? The p-value is 0.01. Okay. The alternative hypothesis is that it is stationary. Therefore, the null hypothesis is that this is not stationary. So since the p-value is less than 0.05, then we reject the null hypothesis of non-stationary. So which might lead us to conclude that since we're rejecting that, then it tells us that the series is stationary, or we are we were able to show not stationary, no? We were able to find evidence to show that it is not stationary. Okay, so that can be a problem because, of course, we know that based on the definition of the ADF, diba? Definitely not stationary to. Non-constant mean, non-constant variance. Paano magiging stationary yan? And yet, the augmented Dickey-Fuller test tells us that this is stationary. Okay? So, a word of caution in using ADF test. Si ADF test, ang weakness niya, madalas, mali yung ano niya pag katulad ng ganyan, may seasonality, may seasonality yung data. Madalas, mali yung ano niya, mali yung pag-interpret niya, mali yung statistical test na yan. So, the ADF test is usually used as a reinforcement to another statistical test, no? So, mas maganda lang itong ginagamit pag hindi masyadong complex yung data natin. Pag ang experience ko dito, kapag may seasonality na, just like the air passengers dataset, wala na. Nagkakamali na siya. So, as we said here, p-value is greater than pag p-value greater than 0.05, we fail to reject, no? We were expecting that. However, the p-value is 0.01. So which tells which leads us into the rejection of the null hypothesis. Okay? So I have some notes here. I'll just share this. Mahaba-haba to notes ito, no? One at a time. Muna. Okay, for you to read. As I said here, the result where p-value is 0.01, less than 0.01, indicates that the series is stationary. But that's not the case. So we'll use another test, the KPSS test. This is Kwiatkowski, Phillips, Smith, and Shin. Generally, this is better than ADF test, no? Okay. So let's let me share this with you. Okay. Tapos i-run natin tong ano. Saan ba sinulat? Dito, no? Here. So, dalawang klaseng ano, KPSS test. Okay? Wait. Wait ha. Doon muna tayo. So here first, Control C. Control V. Okay, let's use the KPSS test kasi mas robust tong KPSS test. Now, dalawang klase siya, no? Yung mean stationary or constant stationary or level stationary or mu stationary. Okay? Tsaka meron trend stationary. Okay? So, medyo nakakalito din yung interpretation nito. Pero let's say, gawin natin. Okay. KPSS test, level stationary. So what does this tell us? So a null hypothesis nito is that the time series is stationary around a constant level. So it means that sinasabi niya, yung time series natin, constant yung mean. Walang trend. Okay? So that's the null hypothesis. Ang tinetest natin dito is that in other words, sinasabi niya, stationary yung time series natin. Stationary. Kasi constant mean. Level stationary. Okay, constant mean siya. No trend. Okay, so if that's the case, then dapat we expect that when we test air passengers using KPSS test, dapat i-reject to, no? The p-value should be less than 0.01. Less than 0.05, I mean. Kasi, ang inaano natin dito, tinetest natin dito kung constant yung mean. Okay, so let's run this and see if KPSS is more consistent with determining yung stationarity. So here, I think I shared this with you. KPSS test level, that's the object that I used here. And then the function is KPSS test. And then the object is air passengers. And then we have to identify null is equal to level. Kailan isama natin to, no? Null is equal to level. So this is a test, mu stationarity to or level stationarity. Okay, so if we print this, if we run this, okay. So anong sabi dito? Na the p-value is 0.01. Okay, so what's our conclusion? We what? We reject the null hypothesis that the time series is stationary. Okay, so in this, compared to the ADF test, mas tama si KPSS test. Okay? So dito ang tinetest niya, ano ba yung data? Is the time series, ano? Does it have constant mean? So, constant siya in as far as mean is concerned. Okay? And then we reject that proposition that the time series revolves around a constant mean. That's not true. Okay, there's another test called the tau stationary. Yung isa mu stationarity, isa naman tau stationarity. So ano naman to? Okay, so let me share this and the code control C control V. Okay. So, the tau stationarity, ang tinetest naman niya, ito. Okay? So, tignan natin ha. Ang tinetest dito, this test assumes that the time series has a stable trend. Take note, no? May trend yung time series, pero stable. And deviations from this trend are stationary. Okay. So, let's plot, no? Medyo kakaiba yung yung tau stationary, no? So ito, ina-assume niya na may trend yung may trend. May trend yung yung time series. Pero yung trend niya stable. Okay? Stable yung trend. In other words, if we just look at this time series kunyari ganyan, kung i-ignore natin yung trend, stationary siya. Stationary yung time series natin. So that's what we mean by trend stationary. Okay? If we ignore the trend, okay? If we flip for example the time series, okay? Ang dinidetermine niya kung yung time series ba niyan regardless of the trend Is it stationary? Okay? Alright, so it does not test kung ano, unlike yung mu stationarity, di ba? Yung mu stationarity, ang tinetest yan kung stationary yung data eh. I mean, kung may trend yung data. Kasi ang sinasabi niya, constant yung mean yan, di ba? So if it digresses from that, which means na may trend yung data, di ba? Yun ang inaano niya. Ito, si mu stationarity, ang sinasabi niya, may trend yung data. Kaso, okay, trend stationary siya, ibig sabihin, yung yung stable yung trend. Eh hindi siya kung saan pumupunta kasi ito may trend to eh, di ba? Ayan. This one has trend but it's meandering, di ba? Hindi siya stable, hindi mo alam kung saan pupunta. Okay, so ang sinasabi dito kay mu stationarity, yes, may trend yung data. Okay? Pero stable yung ano niya, stable yung trend niya. Okay, so that is what this test, no? So when I first used KPSS test dati no decades ago. Medyo nalilito talaga ako dito kasi parang I got confused kasi siguro hindi rin maganda yung pagka-explain, no? So once again, ang assumption dito may trend yung data, okay? Pero regardless of the trend, stable yung ano niya, stable yung trend niya. It's not meandering. Okay? So the series has a stable trend. Yun yung assumption niya. And deviations from this trend are stationary. Okay, so yung deviation from the trend are stationary. Okay? So use this when you expect the series to have a linear trend component that is deterministic or predictable. And it's not part of a random walk. Di ba? Ang random walk, di ba? Unpredictable yan. Hindi mo malalaman kung saan. Kaya nga we can predict a random walk, no? Okay, you can't predict a random walk kasi meandering yan eh. Okay? All right. So, close ko to. Clear? So this is the test. KPSS test trend. Null, ito, ang null, di ba? Kanina, null is equal to level. Kaya ang tawag dito, level stationarity. Ito naman, null is equal to trend stationarity. So if you run this test, KPSS test, okay, take a look. So ang sinasabi niya, okay, p-value is 0.1. Therefore, anong conclusion natin? We fail to reject the null hypothesis that, okay, that the time series, okay, has trend stationarity. Ibig sabihin yun, yes, may trend siya. Okay? May trend, pero stable yung ano niya, yung behavior niya, yung hindi siya random walk, no? Stable yung trend niya. Okay? It still revolves around a constant mean, yung trend niya. Okay? It's not a random walk. All right? So, ano implication nito? So technically hindi hindi nagdi-disagree yung mu stationarity at saka level stationarity, trend stationarity. Iba lang yung inaano nila, iba lang yung tinetest sila, but they are consistent, no? Yung implication nito means may trend siya, okay? May trend siya and the trend is stable, then that means that may transformation tayong gagawin, i-detrend natin. I-detrend natin yung data, tatanggalin natin yung trend. And we learned before that there are several ways to detrend your data. One of which is to get the difference, no? to remove the difference. Ang sinasabi naman niya, stable naman yung trend nito, no? So you might do differencing. Sorry. You may do differencing or pwede ring since since nakikita natin may seasonality yung data natin, pwede rin tayo dito mag seasonal differencing, which we're going to see in a while. Okay, any questions so far? Pause muna ako. Clear ba so far yung discussion natin?
So mostly, sir, we're just doing metric tests.
Sorry.
We're doing metric tests.
Where do we? Sorry for
Diagnostic tests, yung mga metric test.
diagnostic test, mamaya na yun pag ano, pag pag nagka-model ka na, pag na-determine mo yung model, okay? So, if you have the model now, pwede mo na ma-check yung residuals. And then
Pero
yes, sige.
nakalagay dyan KPSS test.
Mm-mm.
Test for stationary.
Ah,
Iba yun
saan
metric
yun?
test.
Sorry. Sino nagtatanong? Ikaw ba, Chard, o si...
Yes po, ako pa, Chard.
Chard, sorry. Ano yung ano mo? Saan?
Gusto ko lang malaman if we're discussing metric test, which is yung test ng diagnostics, yung diagnostic, yung...
Metric?
Yes
Metric
po.
test? No. This is just a test of stationarity, yung behavior ng data. No?
Ano po difference?
Wait, what do you mean by metric test?
In general lang, yung mga statistical test to know if okay yung data distribution, ganun.
Wait
Kasi particularly interested ako dun, parang yung assumptions of linear regression. Parang ganun, sir.
Okay.
Is that metric test, yung assumptions of linear regression?
Metric test ba? Ngayon ko na narinig yung tawag na metric test, no?
Baka mali nga ako. So, anong tawag niyo, sir? Test lang?
Usually, ang tawag natin dun, hindi nga diagnostic kasi pag sinasabi mong diagnostic, we're testing a model, no? For example, kung regression yan, may na-generate na tayong model for our dependent variable. Tapos i-test natin kung mga residuals niya follow the assumptions or are compliant with the assumptions of classical linear regression model. So, doon pumapasok yung term na diagnostic test. As to metric test, meron tayong descriptive statistics lang, pero I'm not sure if it's called metric tests din. Did you read that somewhere, Chard?
Minsan kasi, sir, nahihirapan lang ako if I have a model. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung mga test na kailangan kong gawin. Pwede yung Z-score, hypothesis testing, meron tayong yung
Cronbach alpha.
Meron tayong
Oo.
napakarami, sir.
So depende sa situation 'yon, depende sa sa tinetest mo, no? Kasi kunyari yung ano yung test na sinabi mo kanina, ANOVA or Kruskal-Wallis o mga ano 'yan, mga different types of test depende dun sa different types of data. So kunyari nagte-test ka ng whether equal yung variance, no? Equal yung means or variances ng, let's say, more than 2 samples. So ANOVA ang gagamitin mo doon. So each of the statistical tests have their own purpose, no?
Meron ka tayong reference para sa ganun klaseng
Sorry? May ano?
Meron kaya tayong like mga reference?
Yung mga standard na statistical book. Doon nakalagay naman doon yung mga different tests and kung saan sila ginagamit. Look for any statistical book, no? And then you consider the different tests, ANOVA, yung mga iba't ibang klaseng non-parametric, parametric test, and it will define kung ano yung kung para saan yung test na yon.
Okay po. So, meron rin ako one more thing.
Sige, sure, Chard.
Meron kasi akong ginagawang project ngayon na gagawa ng framework for other data sets. So, generalized framework siya.
Okay.
Tapos, basically, it's a problem without a problem, pero gagawan namin siya ng solution para sa maraming problem ng normalization.
It's a problem without a problem, no?
So, parang iniisip ko, kaya ba yun without...
Parang parang non-supervised learning siya. Kasi parang mga walang labels yung mga data niyo or what?
Meron siyang labels, but we have to find out yung impactful variable. Kasi iniisip ko lang, is a thing talaga na every dataset is different, every problem is different, tapos yung model mo pareho lang. So, I'm thinking na, is it even possible gumawa ng such a thing? Pero yung problem talaga is normalize.
What do you mean by normalize?
let's say meron kang dalawang portfolio and then you want to normalize isang isang percentage na variable. Like let's say payoff percentage or payment percentage. And
Okay.
meron kang sets of variable. And then hindi siya pantay. Like yung portfolio 1, yung percentage niya is 5, yung portfolio 2 is percentage niya 6. Dapat pareho sila kasi like pare-pareho lang yung mga variable niya. Pero dahil mas malaki yung let's say yung portfolio 2, mas malaki yung size ng loans niya, like hindi siya normalized.
Mm,
So parang meron kayang way na ino-normalize yung loan nung portfolio 1 tsaka portfolio 2 para maging pareho silang 5%.
meron. May ways yan. Normalization ng data meron. Siguro bigyan mo ako ng sample ng ng data kahit i-ano mo lang, wag mo wag mo
Maturo.
i-actual, oo.
Okay, sige.
Parang simulated lang siya para to give me an idea tapos tingnan ko kung I can help you with that, no?
Thank you, sir. Yep.
Sige, sure. Thank you, Charda. Thank you.
Yep po.
Okay, sige. So, I hope clear yung yung mu stationarity at saka tau stationarity. They're actually measuring the same, well, hindi naman exactly the same, no? Pero si KPSS mu stationarity, ang sinasabi lang niya, our data has a constant mean. So kung yung data mo may trend, makikita 'yon, no? Makikita 'yon. Tapos yung pangalawa naman, ang tinetest naman niya, may trend yung data natin, pero yung trend niya stationary. Ibig sabihin, either tumataas yung data natin or bumababa yung data natin, pero yung behavior ng pagtaas at o kaya ng pagbaba niya, hindi siya parang random walk na kung meandering kung saan-saan na lang na pumupunta, no? In other words, stationary yung 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 galaw ng data natin na may trend. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. Okay, so ang conclusion natin dito, ang sinasabi dito, 'di ba? Yung 'di ba, ito, rinan natin 'to, 'di ba? Okay, point 1, yung ano natin yung test with trend. So it tells us that we fail to reject the null hypothesis that our data is trend stationary. Okay, may trend nga siya, pero may stationary yung trend niya. And the implication is that we will still have to deal with the trend to make it for us to be able to use ARIMA. Pero madali lang siyang ayusin kasi sorry yung trend naman natin stationary. So how do we treat that? A simple differencing will do, no? Simple differencing lang will do. Will already address the problem. All right. So sige. So tapos, 'di ba, sabi natin na aside from testing for stationarity, you have to plot the autocorrelation function and the partial autocorrelation function. Did I discuss yung yung autocorrelation function at saka partial autocorrelation function last time? Kung pa
ACF tsaka AR1 parang pina-research nyo sa amin, sir. But I don't think, wala kasi ako na last meeting, sir. Nasa ano ako nun eh.
Ferds, ikaw. Kung paano kino-compute si ACF at saka PACF. Sige, anyway, discuss ko na lang, no? Suppose we have siguro mas maganda siguro kung mag-Excel tayo, no? Sige. Close ko 'to. Para mas ay, ano ginawa ko? What did I do? Kinos ko.
Sir, nag-stop
Ay,
ano
wait.
po kayo share?
Nag-stop share ako, sorry. Pinindot ko. Share screen. Illustrate ko lang siguro using Excel, no? Mas madali kasi pag Excel eh. Okay. Pala ako dito na. Naka-share na ba yung screen ko?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So suppose, okay, may time series tayo dito, no? Okay, mag-run na ako. Run between Let's say ano na lang. 90 and 100. Okay. There. Control C. Okay, tinanggal ko lang yung formula. Okay. Titin ko lang. Okay, suppose this is our time series, no? This is the latest value. This is the earliest value. I'm just illustrating how we compute for the or how do we plot the autocorrelation function. Autocorrelation function, as the name suggests, correlation to, no? Autocorrelation, auto self. So we first get the log 1. So we take a look at log 1. So ang log 1 will be yung value na to, di ba? It's equal to this one. Yung past value niya. Ano ko to. And then, syempre walang value to dito. Okay? So this is log 1. Log 1. No? Then we get the correlation of this. Diba? So, if I make is equal to correl. This one, comma. Okay. Negative 0.38 baba. So this is your 8 autocorrelation log 1. Tapos sa log 2 naman is equal to, I'm going to get the second log here. And then, sorry. Yan. Log 2 to, no? Log 2. So kukunin ko yung correlation, itong correlation nitong original at saka nitong log 2. So meron akong autocorrelation 2. So I have here autocorrelation at log 1. I have here autocorrelation at log 2. Autocorrelation at log 3, etc., etc. Okay? So log 3 will be the third log. 1, 2, 3. 1, log 1, log 2. Okay. Ano nangyari? Sorry, mali. Tama. Log 1. Tapos log 2. Tapos log 3 dito pala. Or dito na lang. Dito ko lang kukunin. Yan. Okay. Log 3 naman yan. Okay. And get the correlation between original at saka log 3. So you know what I mean, no? And then, ang gagawin dyan, ipa-plot natin. Kung ano man yung correlation nito, ipa-plot natin yan. Log 1, log 2, usually hanggang log 12, even log 36. For most time series, yung log 36 yan, halos wala na yan, no? Wala nang correlation yan. Usually, yung log 1, meron. Log 2, meron, etc. So this is where your AR function, AR model comes from, no? Yung correlation ng log 1, yung AR1, yung correlation ng original tsaka ng log 1. So you're using the past values of your original time series in order to model your time series. Doon ang gagaling yung autocorrelation. So how about the PACF? Itong PACF, partial autocorrelation, medyo iba, no? Okay? Partial autocorrelation function. Okay, so if you take a look at the partial autocorrelation at log 1, it will be the same as kunin ko nga to para to illustrate this. Correl dito. This, comma, sorry. this. Tama this. Okay. Tapos ito, no? Correlation. This one. Nandito. Comma. This one. Etc. 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 Okay, so you have your your autocorrelation, log 1, log 2, log 3. And then your partial autocorrelation will be partial autocorrelation at log 1 will be the autocorrelation at log 1. But at log 2, it will be equal to the autocorrelation at log 2 minus the autocorrelation at log 1. Okay? And then what will be the one for log 3? Partial autocorrelation at log 3, it will be equal to the autocorrelation at log 3 minus the sum minus yung past autocorrelations. Okay? So pagdating natin sa partial autocorrelation 36, it will be the autocorrelation at log 36 minus the autocorrelation at log 1, log 2, log 3. Ima-minus mo lahat yun to get the partial autocorrelation. So manually, this can be quite difficult, no? Medyo challenging siya. But with Excel, kaya naman. Ito nga yun, no? So balik tayo sa R. I just wanted to give you the idea of what the autocorrelation function and the partial autocorrelation function looks like. Okay, so we're going to use the ACF and the PACF to plot this. Okay, so i-run natin to. Okay, let me share this with you para hindi nyo ita-type. Run natin. Okay. Okay. All right. So makikita natin dito na this is what we call slow decay, no? Very slow yung decay niya, no? Lingering siya, tingnan mo. Ito, ibig sabihin nito, this one is, tingnan niyo to, just to illustrate. This one is 1, no? Correlation to, no? This is your correlation. This is your row, no? And the correlation of log 0, okay, log 0 to, no? So this means that's a correlation between your original time series and your original time series with itself yun. So which is, ibig sabihin nun, ano siya, yung 1 din, 1. Tapos correlation naman ni, ito si AC1 natin to, autocorrelation at log 1. Yan. So ito yung illustrate ko sa inyo kanina. So it's around 0.8 something, 0.9, mataas. Okay? Tapos, yung ano naman, log 2, log 3, log 2. So you can see that the behavior is lingering siya, no? Exponential decay. Hanggang ano yan, hanggang dulon-dulo yan. Okay? So, exponential decay. Tapos ito, ganun din. No? Itong mga blue lines dito, plus ito, ang ibig sabihin yan, if it's above the blue line, ibig sabihin, significant yung correlation. So ito din, ganun, parang ganun din. No? Okay, so pag ganito, ibig sabihin yan, hindi mo model to. Kasi may mga features ang AR component at saka MA component. Ang AR component, okay, ang basis natin yan yung PACF. So dapat may sa PACF niya significant spike lang, 1 or 2 depende kung ano yung order, tapos wala nang significant. Dito may mga significant pa. Tapos yung ACF niya dapat exponential decay. Yung ang bilis mawala. Ito hindi slow decay to. So this is not an AR or an MA process. Okay? So hindi siya pwede. Si air passengers, based on the ACF at saka PACF, we cannot create an NAR or an MA model out of this. This has to be kailangan tong kailangan i-transform muna. There has to be transformation with the data before we can do an ARMA process here. Buti na lang, meron tayong Auto.Arima. Kasi si Auto.Arima, okay, this now, Control C, allows us to determine the model. Nag-Auto.Arima tayo last time, di ba? Purge. Do you recall?
Yes, sir. I think so.
Okay.
Opo.
So sige, so it comes from the forecast package. And then nag-create tayo ng model dito. Let's call it auto model or automatic model. And then we're using Auto.Arima. Our data is air passengers and then trace is equal to true. So yung trace is equal to true, iti-trace siya yung mga possible na models natin. And then i-print natin yung model natin. If I run this, ikita natin yung mga pagte-trace niya, mga models na pwedeng gamitin. Okay. Now, tingnan nyo. So take a look at the suggested solution. You have ARIMA 212. So this is order 2 ni AR, order 2 ni MA, at saka i-difference. Tingnan nyo, lahat ng solution, ang suggestion, i-difference talaga. Lahat may 1, no? Sa D. Sa D, i-difference. Okay? Wala kayong solution dito na hindi dini, na where D is not equal to 1. So, ang sinasabi dyan, you have to difference your data. Yan. 2, 1, 2. Now, meron pang pangalawa. No? Okay? Ito naman, ito ang tawag natin dito, seasonal ARIMA. Seasonal AR component, seasonal MA component, at saka may different seasonal differencing. PDQ din. No? So, just for us to be, di ba, sabi natin, ito ARIMA to, no? ARIMA, P, small, D, Q. Tapos, P, capital P, D, Q. And then, brackets yung seasonal differencing. Ang ibig sabihin nito, difference at log 12. So every 12, which means monthly talaga yung data natin. No? Okay. So we have a suggestion here. This is actually a SARIMA. No? SARIMA siya, seasonal ARIMA. Kasi nagdi-differencing tayo sa dito. Nagdi-differencing tayo dito sa seasonality. 12. And so, if we scan the different suggested solution, hanapin natin pinakamaliit na AIC, Akaike Information Criterion. We can see that comparing everything here, the solution is, saan ang pinakamaliit? Ito. This one, 1018.165. Yeah, that's the best solution. 1018.165. So that's the model. Now, ang gagawin niya, kasi ito, approximate lang muna to, no? Yung initial solution, approximate lang para mabilis siya ma-churn out yung solution. And then, it will do CR, mag-next step na naman, okay? And magko-compute na siya ng, hindi na yung approximate. Kaya medyo nagkaiba yung AIC dito. 1017.85 dito, 1018.165. That's why they're different. Baka you might be surprised. Bakit Bakit magkaiba? Kasi yung una lang siya, estimate. All right? So this is our solution. This is the model for ano for our air passengers, no? Sinasabi diyan na AR, two components, no? Order 2 ni AR. Past two values. Tapos, 1 moving average MA. And then meron tayo dito, no? Dito sa seasonal, walang AR component, walang MA component, but you have to difference, no? You have to difference ones. Ito 'yon. PDQ, no? Yung D dito. Okay? That's why ang binigay sa atin dito, okay? Had there been a one, let's say 1 dito, maglalabas din dito yun ng ano ng seasonal na AR at saka seasonal na MA. Okay? But for now, ito yung sinasabi niya, no? AR1, AR2. Ito yung 2 na yan. Then difference dapat, ibig sabihin si air passengers dapat dinifference natin. Tapos may seasonal differencing din. Ibig sabihin niyan, ang ano kasi natin, ang frequency 12. So hindi lang tayo magbabawas, magdi-difference ng yung past value niya. Magdi-difference din tayo ng past January to January, February to February. Magma-minus tayo din nun. Okay, so ganun yung mangyayari dyan sa data natin. Okay, buti na lang hindi na natin mina-manual to, no? But that's what's being done here. So the solution is AR 2 orders, MA 1 order, tapos differencing, regular differencing at saka seasonal differencing. Ano yung seasonal differencing? 12. Every 12 months. No? Ibig sabihin, mina-minus mo. Lahat ng January ng 1950, ima-minus mo dun sa January na 1949. February ng 1950, ima-minus mo dun sa February ng 1949. Okay, that's what we call seasonal differencing. Okay, so ano yung solution na yan? Okay, so let me just give you the solution in backshift operator form. Kasi it's also important for us to be able to write the equation. Kunyari, kung gumagawa kayong paper, kailangan mapakita niyo equation. Okay? So, I think I told you, class, kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng B dito, di ba? Naalala niyo yung B? Your B is your backshift operator. B, ang ano nito, B to the first power talaga yan. Ibig sabihin yung lag 1. Okay? So that means that your sorry, that's your lag 1. This is your lag 2. Kaya nga may AR1 tayo at saka AR2. Okay? So this is the equation. 1 minus 0.5960B. Saan nagayang 0.56960B? Ito yun. Ito yung this one is your AR component. This one is your MA component. Error term. Okay? So if I distribute this epsilon sub t, that's your error now, plus 0.9819B times epsilon sub t. If you recall, B epsilon sub t is your lag 1 error term. So that's your epsilon sub t minus 1. Okay? Which is your MA component, 0.9819B times epsilon sub t. Okay? Naka-minus siya dito kasi actually ito if we transpose this here sa kabila, magiging negative to. Kasi in-split natin dito yung yung AR component, ito yung MA component. Okay, so more. Okay. So share ko na rin sa inyo to. More explanation about this. Okay. So naka-explain dito, no? Sorry, hindi ko pa siya na edit na to the left align. Hindi ko pa na align. Anyway, So ito yung equation natin. Okay? So anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung 1 minus b dito, this is your differencing. Okay? And 1 minus b12 to the 12, that's your seasonal differencing. So regular differencing at saka seasonal differencing. Okay, kaya nakalagay dito, non-seasonal AR2 component is this one. Okay? And then non-seasonal differencing is this one. Then seasonal differencing with period 12 is 1 minus b to the 12. Yeah. And then the MA component is this one. 1 plus 0.9819 epsilon sub t. Y sub t is, of course, are airline passengers. And B is a backshift operator, as we defined last time. B of Y sub t is equal to your lag 1 value, Y sub t minus 1. And your error term is your white noise. Okay, yan, naka-explain na, no? So that's how you write this. Now, so ang pagsulat naman nito dun sa regular na equation, not using the backshift operator, is this one. Okay? So, take my word for it muna. No? I will not prove this yet kasi pag matagal i-prove to eh. No? Bakit nagkaroon ng ganito? No? Bakit nagkaroon ng y sub t minus 13, y sub t minus 14, tapos meron pa nito. No? Okay, so bakit naging ganito yung ano niya, yung wait ha? 0.9819. Yan. Ito yung MA natin. No? Okay. So ito, bakit nagkaroon ng T minus 13 at saka T minus 14? This is now the seasonal differencing. Okay? So explain ko na lang to next time kasi mahabang i-explain to. And I want us to reach this far. All right. So ang susunod ngayon will be forecasting. No? Kasi okay, may model na tayo. Ano yung pangalan ng model natin? Ito. No? This is our model. And the name of the model is auto, di ba? Auto underscore model. Ito. Now, we can make use of the forecast function para makapag-forecast tayo. Okay? So, here. No? Now, yung auto model natin, ang ginamit natin na data is air passengers. Yan. Okay, now next meeting, magbibigay ako ng one last example bago tayo mag-guards, no? Tapos ang data na gagamitin natin, hindi na yung original data. Yung na-log na data. Kasi kunyari, kailangan natin kailangan yung, let's say yung variance hindi constant. So kailangan mag-transform tayo doon, ano? And one way to transform the data that has non-constant variance is getting the log. Ito ang nangyari, based on the KPSS test, yung mean natin, stable naman, no? Yung drift, yung trend natin stable. So, lumalabas na hindi naman, wala tayong problema sa sa non-constancy in variance. Okay? Although parang statistically at least, no? All right, so let's go here. Forecast natin yung next 24 months. How do you do that? So, siguro I'll just ask you to write this, no? Para naman may nasulat kayo. Forecast the next 24 months. So we're going to use the forecast function. Of course, this is from the forecast package. No? And then we have auto model and H is equal to 24. Okay. So ang mangyayari dito, if a forecast niya, yung next, take note, this is monthly data, di ba? Papa-forecast natin yung next 2 years, yung next 24 months. Okay? Using the auto model, yung model ng ARIMA. Okay, so if we run this, okay, so lagay nga natin dito print natin si forecast values. Okay? So you can see here, in fact, meron siyang meron siyang January 1961 na to. No? Okay? And then meron pa siyang range ng values, no? Parang 20% below, 20% above, 5% below, 5% above. Okay. Yan, no? High 95. So from this point forecast, nag-ano siya ng 20% below this, tingnan mo. Control C, Control V. 20% below that, so that's times 0.8. Ay, hindi, mali. Baka times 0.8. No. Ay, mali. Sorry. Ginawa ko lang yung percentage. '90s. Low 80. Okay. Ba't kaya low 80 ang pagtawag niya? I'll have to check yung syntax nito ha. Kasi I just got the ratio of 430 and 445. Lumalabas sa 96% eh. So, why did it call it low 80? Okay, anyway, basta may range siya, no? Okay. I'm not sure how this, yung point forecast, it was using the model. So, meron kasi time, yung time natin is time 121, no? 145. So that's for January. That's for January 1961. Kasi di ba 144 observations natin? Length. Here. $144 yung data natin. So this is the 145th kasi pinapa-forecast natin. Okay, and interestingly, okay, if we have this plotted, tingnan nyo, i-plot nyo to. Okay. So i-plot natin yung forecast values ito. Okay, lagyan natin ng title, main is equal to 24 months. Okay, forecast for air passengers. Okay, let's have it, let's plot it. Okay, so take a look at the forecast, diba? So, kayang-kaya nyo so kikita natin dito ARIMA process, ARIMA model natin is quite powerful siya, no? Kasi nakuha niya yung nakuha niya yung behavior ng data natin. In fact, nakuha niya yung pattern tapos na-predict niya yung next 24 months. Okay? All right. So, okay. After this, if you take a look at the yung forecast values natin. Sorry, yung auto model natin. So this is a list. Di ba? andito si list. Tapos kasama dyan si residuals. So we don't actually we're not yet done yet, no? Actually hindi pa tayo tapos kasi may model na nga tayo, di ba? Na-define na natin yung equation natin. Na-define, nakapag-predict na tayo, nakapag-forecast na tayo in the next 24 months. The next step should be to check if ito yung sinasabi ni Richard kanina, diagnose natin yung, yung model natin. And how do we diagnose? Same process din, no? Titingnan natin yung behavior ng ACF at saka PACF natin. Okay? So if we take a look at, tingnan natin yung ano okay. Nawawala yung salamin ko. Okay, yung residual sa lang muna. Tapos yung residual sa lang, tapos siguro we'll just continue with this next meeting, no? Kasi sorry, sorry Chard at saka Ferds, medyo parang lumalala tong yung ubo ko.
Okay lang po,
Ah,
sir.
Oo.
Yep, no problem.
I-ano lang natin tong tong natitira dito na konti, no? Pasensya na, no? So, kunin natin yung just check. Kunin natin yung residuals muna. Control Alt I. Di ba sa natin, let's call it recede. Recede na lang. Sa lolo ko pa tong ko. Lolo ko na tong R ko. Alt minus. And then, let's get the residuals. Residuals. Mali. Ano na lang. Yung auto model natin. Auto model dollar. Yan. Andito si residuals. There. Okay? Kunin natin yan. Tapos, i-plot natin siya. Plot natin si recede. Okay? In fact, kunin natin yung no? Kunin natin yung ACF ni recede and the PACF. So this first. Okay. So rinan ko na yung recede, no? Rinan ko na ba? Hindi pa. Okay, so this one, control enter. All right, so I now have recede dito, no? Ito na yung residuals, ito na yung plot ko. Okay, take a look at this. All right. So ito, blanco kasi ito yung basis. Ito yung basis natin. Tapos, and then 1950. Okay. So, we can see here that mukhang naman siya, mukhang dapat kasi white noise yung residuals natin. Okay? White noise ibig sabihin dapat dapat constant mean siya, constant variance. Okay? But we will have to check, no? Yung ACF niya. Okay? Take a look at the ACF. There. Now you can see that the ACF autocorrelation, tingnan nyo, no? Siyempre itong unang-una 1 yan, no? 1 kasi correlation niya ng time series with itself. Pero at log 1, take a look. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Wala nang correlation among the logs, no? Wala nang significant na correlation. Take a look at that. So which means, class, na hindi na natin itong residuals na to, hindi na pwedeng ma-model to. Kasi wala ka na makikitang correlation, di ba? Right? This is now white noise. And the white noise, you cannot model a white noise anymore. Okay? So ibig sabihin, maganda yung model natin. Pasado yung model natin. Let's take a look at the PACF. Ganun din, no? Yung PACF natin. May mga konting pero maliit lang yan. Tapos, malala yung lags na, no? May mga parang significant spikes dito pero these are pang ilang na to, lag 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 lag na to no? So we can test natin using KPSS test, di ba? Test natin kung stationary itong ano natin. Di ba ang white noise stationary yan, di ba? KPSS.test. Okay, recede. Kahit level na lang, recede. Pag wala tayong linagay dun sa level, okay, pwede natin, sige, lagyan level is equal to null. Okay, mali ba yung syntax ko? Ay, sorry. Hindi ko kinakabisado yung syntax. Okay. Sorry. Null. null. Mali. Null is equal to level. Baliktad ako, sorry. Apologies. Baliktad ako. Null. Baliktad ko. Null is equal to there. Okay.
Sir, pwede wait lang muna. Copy ko lang yung
Sorry.
forecast value.
Sorry. Hindi ko ba
Ano,
binigay?
Hindi. Ayun lang. Hindi ko
Ito
lang
to?
sure kung nabigay niya.
This
Parang
one,
sabi
this
niyo
one?
dun sa i-type
Oo.
namin.
Sige.
2
Sige,
minutes lang, sir.
Sige, i-ano ko na lang, i-share ko na lang para Control C. Para para hindi nyo na i-type. Okay, Control V. There. So yung sinasabi ni Richard kanina na yung sa diagnosis, ito na. This is now part of the diagnostics, no? Once we were able to determine the model for our time series, in this case, SARIMA siya, no? SARIMA 211-010-12. Yun ang complete name ng model natin. What we did was to forecast, no? Nag-forecast tayo. In this case, monthly kasi siya. So nagpa-forecast tayo ng 24 months. And you can see naman dun sa plot, no? Sinusundan niya talaga yung data, no? Which I believe in this case is a very good prediction based on the behavior of the data. Of course, in reality, hindi naman talaga naging ganun yun, especially kung may mga let's say mga new developments, whether macroeconomic or industry or demographic changes in the macro environment, it will really wreak havoc on your forecast. Pero kung status ko lang, kunyari wala namang dynamic changes, then okay na yung model na yun. Alright, so ano sinasabi dito? Okay? Null is equal to level. So, ang ano kasi natin dito, di ba? Ang null hypothesis dito, di ba? If you recall, HO natin dito, time series is stationary. Okay? So, P is equal to 0.01. Then, we fail to reject the null hypothesis that the time series is stationary. Stationary nga siya. Okay, tapos dito sa ilalim may ginawa akong code dito, no? Ganun din naman dito, no? We can make use of this one, magandang ano to, itong function, check residuals. Control C. From forecast function also. Check ko. There.
Na-control sa inyo rin ba yun sa taas?
Which one?
Yung yan,
Ito
yung
to?
may KPSS.
Okay, sige. Control C. Kinuha lang natin yung residuals yan. Okay, so what we did here was to get the residuals from our model. Kasi makukuha natin yung yung residuals natin, no? Tapos linat natin siya and we got the ACF and the PACF. for the model to be good, no? For the model to be acceptable, dapat yung ACF natin at saka PACF natin, dapat wala ng ano, sa ACF dapat wala ng ano, significant na correlation. Kung meron pa on certain lags, it means that may hindi pa nakaka-capture yung model natin. Okay, in our case, yung ACF natin, talagang kitang-kita mo na ano, no? There, no? Wala na mga significant na correlation. So which means na wala ka nang model. You cannot now use your residuals. Residuals na kasi to, no? Wala na tayong model dyan sa residuals na yan. And also for this one, ito magandang ano to, no? Take a look at this one. Yung result niya, yung check residuals na to. Here. There. Makikita natin yung plot, no? Although sabi ko nga dito, no, merong at a later lag, may lumalabas na significant dito. So that's more for the seasonality. Yung back test, okay? So normality to. Tapos then dito, here, you can see here the behavior of our residuals. Okay? So this is the plot of our residuals kanina, di ba? Yan. Tapos ito, kita natin, except for this, pero malayong lag na yan, no? Parang it doesn't make any sense to get the correlation between dun sa 24th, ano, no? Tapos wala na, sa 36, wala na naman. Sa 12, wala na naman, no? So, we can consider na okay na tong model na to. Tapos yung normality, kikita naman natin dito, this, isang check din kasi normality of residuals. Okay, the null hypothesis is that the residuals are normally distributed, and then based on the Ljung-Box test, okay, 0.01, okay, so we reject the null hypothesis that the residuals are normally distributed, but that's okay, no? May mga ano naman dyan, may mga run around dun sa normality na residuals. Dito hindi normal yung residuals natin. All right. So, okay, so I think we can stop here. Okay, so next meeting, isang example muna tayo para magse-segue tayo sa ano sa GARCH. Ang gagamitin natin, magmo-model tayo ng time series na financial. Kunyari, let's say we're going to use stock prices, get the returns. Tapos i-model natin returns. Tapos tingnan natin kung based on the ARIMA model kaya niya. Usually, hindi kinakaya ng ARIMA yung returns. Paano natin makikita? Makikita natin dito yan sa pag-plot natin. And dito sa ano, here. Dito, sa plot ng ano natin, ng mga residuals, magkakaroon tayo ng volatility clustering. What do I mean by volatility clustering? Yung plot ng residuals natin parang ganito. Nagka-cluster yung volatilities. Yan. Which means that exaggerated to yung increases in returns tend to be followed by more increases. So increase, or decreases in returns tend to be followed by more decreases. So that's what happens when that happens, then we have volatility clustering. And it will tell us that hindi stationary yung data natin. Okay? However, yung ganyan, hindi na makakapture ng ARIMA yan. Okay? Hindi kaya ni ARIMA, therefore, saka pupunta na tayo sa GARCH now. Yun na yung segue natin. Generalized autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity. Autoregressive din siya, but we're now going to model the variance. Kasi hindi na kaya ni ARIMA. Hindi kaya i-model yung volatility ng variance. Okay? So, sige. So, that would be all for tonight na muna. Paki-watch na lang in advance yung Garch para next meeting mabilis tayo dun sa Garch model
Sir,
natin.
pwede-
Yes?
With a favor,
Yeah, sure.
i-send kita ng code. Wala naman tong confidential data. Pero check mo lang sir kung may i-criticize mo lang sir kung okay lang.
Yeah, sure. Sige. Email mo na lang sa akin or chat mo sa akin, Chard, ha?
Okay sir.
Okay.
Okay sir. Yep. Ano lang siya? Timing nga, forecasting.
Sige. Okay. So, thank you, Chard. Thank you, Ferds.
Thank you po, sir.
I hope you learned something
Sir.
today. May
Opo,
natutunan
sir.
naman. Sige.
Yes sir.
Thank you. See you next week. No?
Yes sir. Pagaling kayo. Bye-bye.
Thank you po,
Salamat.
sir.
Thank
po,
you.
sir
Ingat din
Bobby.
kayo. Ingat kayo. Sige.
Sana, ingat din po, sir.
Okay. Thank you.